What's up, slashes and slashettes? My name's Nightfall, and welcome back to another anime analysis video. Today, we will be discussing the main character of Demon Lord Retry, Hakuto Kunai, or just Kunai. With that out of the way, let's start the video. Before becoming Kunai, Akira Ono was the developer of a game called Infinity Game, that, after 15 years, was finally being shut down at midnight. During this time, however, he woke up as Kunai in not just another world, but a different world from Infinity Game as well. Basically, his story starts off pretty much identical to Ainz's from Overlord, but he has some very key differences. To begin with, while he is considered to be an antagonist of this world, he very clearly still has his humanity and morals. Even though he was summoned to pretty much plunge the world into chaos, he doesn't actually seem to have any interest in doing so, unlike Ainz, who gains the desire to rule over everything. He's essentially the exact opposite of Ainz's personality, which, given the similar story, was much needed. He's very overpowered from what we've seen, and is actually pretty smart too. He finds out ways to boost the prosperity of Rabi Village. Think of this as Kunai's Karn Village. He also builds relations with nobles and other shopkeepers to have constant support and resources. Building onto his intelligence, many protagonists, especially in Isekai, usually only focus on a weakness when they become forced to do something about it. Meanwhile, Kunai knows he has a huge vulnerability to magic, so once he finds out more information about adventures and the dungeons, he sets off to try and find items that can help boost his magic resistance, before it becomes a problem. Moving on from his smarts, his relationships with Luna, and of course, Aku, make for very wholesome moments and a lot of humorous scenarios. However, there's actually another character I want to talk about. So let's move on, shall we? I know what you're thinking. Two characters in one video? That's not normal. Well, technically it's not two characters. Fans of the show know that Kunai, or rather Akira, is actually able to switch characters, going from the Demon Lord Kunai to who I assume is the hero or at least the prototype player of Infinity Game, Zero Kirasame. Zero is very much portrayed as a being of justice, with some cringy hero lines sprinkled in, which leads me to something very interesting. While Kunai is aware he switches to Zero, and in episode I believe it was either 10 or 11, we hear Akira's thoughts in Zero's head, it doesn't actually seem like Zero is aware he shares a body with Kunai. Like I said, his personality is different, and prior towards the end of the season, we hadn't heard Akira's thoughts in Zero's head. Every time he switches to Zero, he never seems to know how he got to the place he's at, and now this could be Akira role-playing, except for the fact that there's not really a point of him doing so, unless he just wants to do it for the sake of his own lore. And to top it off, apparently Kunai can't actually force Zero to switch back to him. It just kinda happens, I guess. They don't really explain it. Anywho, that leaves a lot of room for interesting plots and character interactions. All in all, Kunai, or Akira, whatever you want to call him, is an average guy who's intelligent, funny, sometimes wholesome, a little bit overpowered, and maybe just a tad bit greedy, making him an amazing protagonist to a surprisingly funny and amazing anime. After watching Demon Lord Retry, I was very surprised by how good it was. I was just expecting it to be like an Overlord ripoff, and it's not. It's very different, and it's very funny and amazing, and I also suggest that you give the anime a watch. So with that out of the way, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will hopefully see you all soon. Goodbye.